Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. I want to go ahead and talk about last night's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You guys, I was a bit nervous because I just didn't know if I was going to make it through. I really did not. I mean, we've hit mid-season. We saw the mid-season trailer. It's kind of interesting and things of that nature. But last night, ever since I've transitioned from watching the show as a strict fan and enjoying it just to enjoy it to actually watching it for a job, my fuse is a lot shorter. My tolerance is a lot shorter. My attention span is not as high as what it was. And if I'm watching something and it's a drag, it is so hard for me. And I felt like the first half of last night's episode was so slow. And I have a question. So I'm on Twitter, so I be wanting to read like what the girls are saying, and a lot of what they be saying I don't agree with. Nothing really. I'm the outlier of the group. But I see that there's a lot of discussion when it comes to Sanya and how Sanya's boring. She needs to be fired and she just doesn't, people aren't interested and she doesn't mix in with the group and she's boring and she's this and she's that and she's the third, right? Um, of course I don't agree with any of that, but I have a question. So there was a scene last night. We had two scenes where we had two sisters who were in their feelings. You had Allison, Drew's sister, and she was crying because she was kind of excommunicated from the family and the household because she said that, Drew's husband, Mr. Ralph Pittman, is manipulative and controlling. And so you have that whole thing. And she had like a mental breakdown during the pandemic. And now they're reconciling. And I guess everyone wants to live in a world of kumbaya and flowers and ponies and roses and rainbows. So you had that. And I think Allison has been on 2-3 episodes. And why do I feel like in every scene, I don't know if this is going to sound insensitive. I'm glad that the family is coming back together. I do feel like it is a bit fake because I feel like, how do we go from she's been banned from the household to really not even having a real conversation with Ralph and the sister? Like, did that happen off camera? Like, I feel like we're missing the meat of the story arc, of the storyline. Like, we get a beginning, we get an end, but we don't get no middle. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot of meat missing there. But why do I feel like she's only been on 2 episodes, maybe 3-4 scenes, and in every scene this lady cries? Like, is that insensitive? I'm just like, girl, like, you've already cried on camera like 4 times. You've only been in 2 episodes and you've cried on camera 4 times. Is that rude? Like, am I missing an empathy gene like Candy? Am I missing an empathy gene like Candy? Like, I'm just looking at the TV screen like, why does she keep crying? Like, anything like that they talk about, it's like she'll just cry at the drop of what is the saying? A drop of a hat? Drop of a hat? A pin drop? Not a pin drop. Anyways, y'all know what the hell I'm trying to say. Sister Allison keeps crying and I'm just like, fast forward. That's why I intentionally watch the show at 8:30 instead of 8. Because I play that bitch on DVR and I can watch it while the show is still airing. I can watch it and then I can catch up by the end of the damn episode because I done skipped all the advertisements. And I can skip through those scenes. Now, I do be watching those scenes, but, it be taking all of me not to just. We also had this scene at the end where Sanya and her sister, they were having a moment and Sanya started crying because, the sister felt like, I didn't even know what time to be at the brunch to do your hair and stuff like that. And I feel like you don't consider me in my schedule. And I have kids, I have a husband, I have a life, whatever. We have Allison and Drew in their sentimental scene. And then we have Sanya and her sister in their sentimental scene. Why are you guys interested in Allison and Drew and Allison crying? But then when it comes to Sanya crying with her sister, it's like, it's boring. We're not into that. That's boring. She needs to be fired. Fast forward through her parts. I just can't get in. I really want to know, what is the disconnect? Why do y'all tolerate the Allison storyline, but y'all don't tolerate Sanya and her sister storyline? Why don't y'all say that to Allison? Because honestly, I felt like the most boring scene of them all last night's episode. And again, I may be missing an empathy gene, but Allison crying, I don't want to see her crying no more. I'm sick of it. I'm honestly sick of it. Like, that was boring to me. It was boring. Like, where is Ralph? Her issues. I'm just trying to figure out, like, it's boring when Sanya does it, but no one talks about. Okay. Um, Another thing. Let's just talk about double standards really quickly. Um, Kenya goes, "Oh, Drew had a low budget music video. Beyonce below, low budget Beyonce below, low budget Beyonce below." And Kenya will sit up in her confessional and shade the girls. But then somehow, when Sanya gets up into her confessional and she goes, what she say? She said something like, "Oh my God, I know Candy has been missing a few of the events and she managed to make it to mine. Like, I feel like or I'm her favorite," or something like silly she said, right? Um, Everyone took that as, "Oh my God, she's coming for Candy, and why is she shading Candy, and why is she doing this, and why is she doing, oh my God, Sanya's existing, she's breathing, she's pregnant, It's like every little thing that lady says, whether it's shady or normal or not shady or anything, like the lady could drop dead and roll over in her grave and y'all would still have an issue with it. I mean, when she breathes, y'all hate it. When she eats, y'all hate it. When she blinks, y'all don't like it. Sanya merely existing irritates, I feel like, the entire RHOA fan base. And I know this because I be reading the tweets and I just be like, damn. And y'all be saying I be right for the wrong team, child. According to y'all, I'm on the wrong team. So I'm like, everybody else, like Candy can say she by Sheem. And Sheree says, biscuits or bullets. And then Marlo can have her fashion corner and she shade the girls. And, Kenya can say it's a low budget Beyonce below. And, Drew does what she does. And it's like, as soon as Sanya, like, has like a quick-witted little snarky comment in the confessional that's really not deep at all, it's like, she's the worst housewife ever. How dare she shade Queen Candy? She should be grateful that Candy showed up. She had a concert in Nashville and then a concert in South Carolina, and she's so ungrateful. Sanya had the nerve. I'm like, the shade wasn't even that shady. She said, "Oh, I must be Candy's fave." I'm like, you would think that she's in the confessional calling Candy, saying that sis sound like a Billy Goat. Or that she's wearing fake Gucci at the Gucci brunch or something like that. But it's like, every little thing that girl do, y'all be upset at. It's so mind-boggling to me. It's really interesting. So I'm here to give you all a different perspective because I know ain't no blogger is coming on to YouTube and Twitter and nowhere else saying what I'm saying because, I feel like no one else is saying these things. But I'll say it. I'll be what is it called? A sacrificial lamb? Is that what they call it? Don't that mean like you volunteer yourself as tribute, as the sacrifice? Okay. Isn't that what that mean? Shall I just be using phrases and terms and don't even know what I'm talking about? But y'all get what the hell I'm saying. Like, I will volunteer myself as tribute to say what no one else is saying, and I'll take the brunt of the aggression. I'll get beat up for it. Right. Okay, so what else do we have to talk about? What is going on with my mouse? I know this thing is shaky, but I gotta get used to doing it like this. Okay, so Roy. So we have Roy. So bringing it back. Let me just bring it back a little bit. So we have the Kenya Moore hair care, which is really cute. Kenya's a businesswoman and her hair is beautiful and Brooklyn is so cute. We have Monyetta and Roy. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if it's like a gay thing, but ever since I've been grown enough to date, I've never been in a situation where I hooked a friend up or a friend hooked me up with like a friend. Like in the gay community, and maybe it's just my group of friends and maybe it's my age range or age group or I don't know what it is. But men are very, what is it? It's scarce, right? And so it's really not a lot of us to go around to be like, "Oh, I have a friend I can hook you up with." Bitch, I'm trying to hook myself up. And vice versa. I don't believe I've had a friend to ever hook me up before. Right? So it's a free for all. It's every man for himself. You find your man, I find my man. Okay? And we just do it like that. So I believe in this particular case, Monyetta is friends with Roy and hooked up Roy with Kenya. Now, maybe it's my scarcity mindset, but if I'm dating somebody, I'm just weird like this. I do not want the guy I'm dating to be so buddy and close and friends with my friends. I don't like that. I don't like that. Like, I feel like every time they mention Roy, Monietta is in her phone texting him. Monietta is in her phone calling him. Monietta is in her phone, FaceTiming Roy. And it's like, girl, why do you keep texting and calling and FaceTiming my mans? And I get it. I know you guys are friends and I know you introduced us, but it's like, coming from where I come from and how me and my friends do things, like, that irritates me. So anyways, Roy is real. He doesn't, live in the phone like Jamal does. And he came and brought some kale wraps and sandwiches and some smoothies, some kale smoothies. And I like the fact that she's a businesswoman. She owns the Kenya Moore hair care, and then he owns the Kill Me Crazy. So it's like two boss CEOs coming together to be a power couple. I think Roy could be the one. Now, I don't know what the chemistry is like, but on paper, I like this match. On paper, I like it, but I guess the jury is still out because we don't really know how they interact. I want to see her go on a date. Just like how Marlo took her little chef Scott Lee Ennis. I want to see them go on a date. All right, so yeah, we got to see Roy. He does not live in FaceTime, child. He is real, honey. Okay, he is a real man. But during that Kenya Moore hair care scene, we noticed, the girls on Twitter were noticing that Kenya, her best friend, was cut out of the damn show, child. I don't know why the producers do what they do. I'm assuming that it's probably because maybe they want to save Cynthia for a later episode. Maybe Cynthia did not contribute anything that was of importance to drive home the storylines and stuff like that. So I don't know why Cynthia was cut. A lot of the girls are upset. But what I did notice, and listen, I want to see Cynthia like how everybody else wants to see Cynthia. So I'm questioning and wondering why Eric Fuller is single-handedly ruining Real Housewives of Potomac in Atlanta. That's a joke. That's a joke. But it's interesting because I felt like no one really cared about Cynthia's cameo until they found out or until they saw that she was cut. Quiet as it's kept, nobody was talking about her cameo until y'all saw she was cut, and all of a sudden we burning Bravo at the stake. We going to New York City to NBC Universal headquarters, job. I mean, I'm just saying. Speaking of the past Atlanta Housewives, we did get this OG scene, which at first I was like, it was cute. I felt like the editing was just so bad. So bad. As a film student, like, I noticed every cut, every like face, what is it called? Like every reaction shot they get of their faces. And I can tell that they chopped and screwed this and that they cut this and put this part and this is out of context. And now they're adding music for dramatic effect. And it's like, I noticed all this little technical stuff. And what I noticed about that scene is that it was so heavily edited and it was very distracting. It distracted from the moment of it. I feel like it was hard to grasp the essence of the moment because the scene was so choppy. So we had Kim Zolciak return and she was shady and, being Kim Zolciak. Okay, classic Kim Zolciak made an appearance. We had Deshaun Snow, who was really, really quiet, which, listen, you can't fault people for being who they are. But I personally love Deshaun Snow, and I wish she would have been more vocal. But not everybody's made, cut out to be a television reality TV star. Of course, you have Sheree, who's an OG, who kind of is anchoring this season and wants to get the OGs involved. And then you have Lisa Wu, and the girls on to the Twitter were saying that Lisa Wu was a drunk. And listen, it wasn't as bad as last season when they was cleansing Sheree's coochie spittoon with the incense and stuff like that. At that little Ponderosa, Lisa Wu was extra overserved, okay? So Lisa Wu wasn't that bad. But you can tell, and Lisa Wu's voice has gotten so much raspier and deeper. Have y'all noticed that? It's interesting. But I feel like Lisa has changed so much. Like, she used to be the Energizer Bunny, the businesswoman, the broker, the real estate lady. She used to be like this fast-paced, very sharp businesswoman, mother, wife, super gorgeous, like super articulate. Like, I felt like back in the day, Lisa Wu was that girl. I feel like now people view her as the drunk auntie. And I don't like that narrative. So maybe life just really pulled a fast one on Miss Lisa Wu. But I felt like the scene, it was cute. So we got to reminisce about the show and stuff like that. And Kim Zolciak lied about the foreclosure child. She lied. And that just let me know that, okay, let me get rid of this narrative in my head that Kim Zolciak should come back, because she's not going to bring anything but a whole bunch of lies. And that just kind of proved it to me, like, sis, you're a liar. You, Ariel, and Brielle, and Croy, lie. Remember at the Bailey Q, I think it was season 11, I believe, and they were playing a game. I think it was Pass the Peach or some shit, and they asked Marlo who is the past liar and who is the current liar, or who is the liar of the group, the biggest liar. And Marlo was like, well, the past liar was Portia, but the present liar is Eva. Well, child, now we've passed the baton over to Kim Zolciak. That's all she do is a lie. And she teaching Ariel and Brielle to lie. What else? Then we talked about how Eric Snow filed for a divorce, and we still don't have the story behind that. I don't understand why we didn't get the tea on that. Like, if we're going to sit down with these women who we haven't seen in 15 years, give us the tea. Like, sometimes I don't really be understanding, like, why the producers make the decisions that they do. Y'all had the opportunity to really extract some really good information. Y'all should have prepped. Good for Lisa Wu for bringing up the foreclosure. Thank God she had a couple of cocktails before she ended up, sitting down with the girls. Because she wasn't hesitating talking about well, what about the incident? And let me not try to imitate or mock stuttering, because the girls will say that I'm coming for the disabled community. But yeah, so thank God for Lisa Wu that she brought up the obvious. But like, if we're gonna have Kim Zolciak, like, get the tea, get the information. Like, Eric Fuller should have been like, okay, Lisa, you and your drunk self, your job is to extract as much information from Kim Zolciak as possible, because at the end of the day, y'all know that this season is kind of. So this was the opportunity to spice it up. Get that. Y'all are paying these ladies a day rate. Y'all are paying them. They're not doing this for free. I highly doubt it. Now, I know Kim Zolciak sure as hell not doing this shit for free. Right? So, get the tea. What is the tea on Eric? Why did Eric and Deshaun Snow divorce? Why would y'all bring that up and then not give us at least an answer? Why did Ed Hartwell divorce Lisa Wu and get with Keisha Knight Pulliam, Bill Cosby's daughter? Penny. Wait, no, that's Janet Jackson. Tootie. That's Kim Fields. Child, I don't know. What was that girl's name? Wasn't it? It wasn't Penny. Tootie, Penny. Whatever. So, y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. It was cute. It was one of the better scenes of the season. I just wish it was edited differently. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. I know Scotty by Nature was on the Twitter talking about y'all are overhyping this OG reunion. It's boring. It's this, it's the. I thought it was better than seeing Allison cry. Like, that's what I don't be understanding. So, let me get this straight. Because y'all would have rather watched Allison on that couch cry And I hope I'm not sounding insensitive because I do feel like mental health is real and I'm glad that she's speaking about it on a national platform and stuff like that. But y'all would rather see Allison and the preacher mama and Drew cry than watch Kim Zolciak. And then, oh my God, the girls were so upset that Kim Zolciak said, oh my God, that bitch is still alive. Talking about Kenya. She asked, oh my God, Kenya's still alive? So Kenya then went onto Twitter and said she's so vile and she's so vulgar and she's so evil. Was that the nicest thing? No, but like, damn. I don't think she wishes you death, sis. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I just be thinking like when it's someone that you don't like who says something, and I'm speaking about the fans, when it's someone that they don't like, when they say something kind of off the wall or kind of shady and stuff like that, it becomes like the worst. Like, oh my God, they become like Hitler in their eyes. You know what I mean? Going back to the Sanya conversation, it's like if Sanya goes into the confessional and complains about, Kenya being late to the thing, it becomes like, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. Why would Sanya separate Kenya from her plus one? Oh my God, it's the worst thing in the world. She's the worst party planner ever. And quiet as it's kept, why doesn't Sanya get any credit? Because from my knowledge, there's only been 2 big budget events. This Mommy Nation brunch and Ross's 40th birthday party. Who else is doing anything? Nobody else is doing anything. Sanya is the one that's putting up her own money. We talked about it in the interview. She's the only one that's putting up her own money to do actual events. And then maybe Drew Sidora for her music video. But I mean, according to Kenya, that was low budget. It's weird because I really never noticed it before now. But I feel like when certain people get in their confessionals and do their interviews and they're being shady, then it's like, ha ha he he, it's so funny. When the other alliance, the 3 that y'all don't like, when they do it, it's like, they're so evil. It's the worst thing in the world. Why would they do that? They're ungrateful, yada, 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 this, and blah, 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 that. Like when Kenya did that speak on it, and she was like, oh, no, talking about Courtney. But yet when I stutter, I'm making fun of the disabled. But when Sister Girl, when she did all of that trying to make fun of Courtney, when she shaded the hell out of Courtney, and I don't really remember Courtney and Kenya haven't had any issues. But no one ever asked the question, hold up, why is Kenya being so shady toward Courtney? What did Courtney ever do to Kenya? Like, so I've noticed more this season than probably any other season that when one girl is not so nice and is being a little shady, it's like no one bats an eye. As soon as the 3 girls, Sheree, Marlo, and Sanya do it, it's like, oh, yeah. Burn them at the stake. But Kenya can go on the internet talking about some whoa. Food for thought. I know you guys are gonna disagree. I thought it was great of Kenya to host the thing. I thought that was beautiful of her. Didn't like the dress. I didn't think it was cute. Don't like her hair. She was late because she said rather be late than ugly. And although she did not show up ugly, I didn't think she was the cutest. So that's that. I hated the hair and I hated the dress. It is what it is. So listen, but I thought she did an amazing job and I loved how she went over the 50,000 goal and all of those things. And I thought Kenya really stepped up in that moment. I really do. I really do think that was amazing of her. So yeah, Kenya was late, and then Kenya was like really like irritated at the fact that Sanya suggested that because there wasn't enough room at the main table, that Akila, her plus one, should sit at the other table, but they would be back to back, essentially together, but not really together. Kenya didn't like that. And she was like, oh my God, it's so tacky and the etiquette and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, And I think Sanya just ended up moving Kenya to the other table, and everything worked out. So Sanya was like made out to be like a terrible party planner because of that. What else happened? The girls feel like Sanya treats her sister like scum of the earth. They think that Marlo and what's her face, Sheree, were like so hesitant to give up $5,000 for the damn charity, right? They are saying that those are your best friends. Why were your best friends so hesitant to give money and yada yada this? Everybody gave money, including friend of the show, Miss Courtney, and I think Manietta as well, if I'm not mistaken. Was she there? I don't even remember. Yeah, so some behind the scenes tea. So apparently Drew Sidora was the last one to actually write the check because she had to do research on the organization and make sure that everything checked out. And so turns to find out, while everybody's dragging Marlo and Sheree about not wanting to raise their paddles to get $5,000, it was Drew Sidora who dragged her feet the most. They're going to tell you guys, oh my God, Marlo didn't want to give no money. Sheree was not quick to raise her paddle. Yada, yada, that scene, yada, yada, that. And the true tea is Drew Sidora dragged her feet the most. That is the true tea, but no one's going to say that. And then a lot of the girls were looking at Sanya sideways as well. There's a lot of things that Sanya did that I didn't really find to be that big of a deal. So that's why I'll be reading the Twitter to see what the girls say. And they were saying how Sanya, she was weird for not honoring her own mother at the Mommy Nation brunch, or her sister, but instead honored and gave an award to Sheree. Which I'm like, who came up with like these rules of decorum and etiquette? Like, I remember Kenya, she gave an award to Nene. Why did she give an award to Nene? Because that's what she wanted to do. I feel like Peter did an award show. Peter and Cynthia, didn't they do an award show and they gave an award to Candy? Because that's what they wanted to do. But when it's Sanya who wants to appreciate her friend and who wants to appreciate a mother, right? They didn't understand because Sheree's children are, grown, and I don't think you stop being a mother after your kids are grown, but okay. When Sanya gives an award to somebody that she wants to give an award to, it's like, that's so weird. Her own mother was sitting right there. Why didn't she give the award to her mother? She's a kissing ass. She's doing this. If she would have gave it to Candy, I guarantee you, y'all wouldn't call that ass kissing. At the OG dinner, going into the brunch, it got a lot better. I thought the brunch was beautiful. I thought the whole scene, I thought that was amazing. How Sanya described it in our interview was pretty accurate. It was a really good scene. There was no like major drama, no big blow up, but it was still really captivating TV, in my opinion. OG brunch, a little awkward, very heavily edited. I didn't like that, but definitely better than everything that happened prior to. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about the entire situation in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know how y'all feel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day.